My dear student, today's topic is a new topic, direct and inverse proportion. First, what is variation? If two quantities depends on each other in such a way that the change of one result in corresponding to the change of other, then the two quantities or two variables are said to be in variation. Now, few examples. Example, if the number of article purchased increased, then the total cost is also increased. If you want to buy more article, then we need more money. That means cost of the articles are increased. Another example, more money is deposited in the bank, more is the interest earned. Then that means if you deposit more money in the bank, then you earn more interest. One more example, as the speed of the vehicles increase, then the time taken to cover the same distance is decreased. There is two variables, one is speed of the car, another is time. So if the speed of the car is increased, so increase of one variable, and here time is decreased, so decrease the time. So there are two variables, speed and time. Increase and of one variable depends on the decrease of other variable. One more, for a given job, more the number of workers, then the less the time taken to complete the worker. So that means if the number of worker is increased, then the time is decreased to complete the fixed job. That means increase of one variable is depends the decrease of other variable. So there are four examples. Each and everywhere two variables are there, and increase or decrease of one variable depends on the increase or decrease of other variable. For the first one, number of articles and the cost. So there are two variable, number of articles is one variable and cost is other variable. So if you want to buy the more article, then we need more money. So increase of the number of article, increase of the cost. So two variable are increased in the same time. Here one table is given. Weight of the sugar in kg and cost in rupees. So weight of, that is cost of 1 kg sugar. When weight is 1 kg, then cost 18 kg. So cost of 1 kg sugar is rupees 18. Then multiply this 1 by 3. Same time multiply by 18 by 3. So 1 into 3, 3, and 18 into 3, 54. That means cost of 1 kg sugar is 18, then the cost of 3 kg sugar is 54. Cost of 5 kg sugar is 90. How it is possible? So multiply this number by 5, at the same time multiply this cost by 9. So multiply this numerator and denominator by the same number 5, then we get 5 by 90. So cost of 5 kg sugar is 90. So what is the cost of 6 kg sugar? So multiply this number by 6. We get 6 into 1, 6. Then 18 into 6 equal to what? So this is the cost of 6 kg sugar. Cost of 10 kg sugar. So multiply this number by 10. We get 10. 1 into 10, 10. At the same time 18 into 10 equal to 180. So cost of 10 kg sugar is rupees 180. That means weight is increasing, then the cost is also increased. That means cost, that is increase of this variable depends on the increase of weight. So these two variables are in direct proportion. the definition is increase or decrease of one variable is depends on the increase or decrease of other variable, then the two variables are in direct proportion. There is the definition: direct proportion. Two quantity x and y are said to be in direct proportion, or two variable x and y are said to be direct proportion if whenever the value of x is increase or decrease, then the value of y is increase or decrease, then such a way that the two ratio x by y remains constant. Thus x and y are in direct proportion if x by y equal to k, where k is some constant, that is x1 by y1 equal to x2 by y2 equal to x3 by y3 equal to x4 by y4 equal to x5 by y5 equal to some constant k. Here 1 by 18, and if we calculate 3 by 54, it is also 1 by 18. The simplest form of 5 by 90 is also 1 by 18. So this is the constant k equal to 1 by 18. So these two variables are in direct proportion. Now example 1. One example. The cost of 5 meters of particular quantity of the cloth is rupees 210. Cost of 5 meter of cloth is 210. So find the cost of 4 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 10 meter and 13 meter of cloth of the same type. So let the cost of 2 meter cloth is y2, cost of 4 meter cloth is y3, cost of 10 meter cloth is y4 and cost of 13 meter cloth is y5. So suppose the length of the cloth represented by x and the cost represented by y. So this is the table. Cost of 2 meter cloth, this is the length of the cloth in meter, and this is the cost. So let the cost of 2 meter cloth is y2, cost of 4 meter cloth is y3, cost of 5 meter cloth is already given 210 rupees 210. Let the cost of 10 meter cloth is y4, cost of 13 meter cloth is y5. Next page. So here the length of the cloth is increased, then the cost must be increased. So these two variables are in direct proportion. So since they are in direct proportion, therefore 2 by y2 equal to 4 by y3 equal to 5 by 210 equal to 10 by y4 equal to 13 by y5. So 5 by 210, here 5 by 210 equal to 2 by y2. First we consider 2 by y2 equal to 5 by 210. So this is the relation 5 by 210 equal to 2 by y2. So this is the linear equation. By cross multiplication 5y2 equal to 2 into 110 or y2 equal to 2 into 110 by 5 equal to 84. So cost of 2 meter cloth is rupees 84. Now we take the relation 4 by y3 equal to 5 by 210. So here 5 by 210 equal to 4 by y3. By the cross multiplication 5 into y3 equal to 4 into 210. So y3 equal to 421. 4 into 210 by 5 equal to 168. So cost of 4 meter cloth is rupees 168. Similarly, you can find the value of y4 and y5. This is the cost of 10 meter cloth and this is the cost of 13 meter cloth. One more example, number 3. If the weight of 12 sheets of thick paper is 40 gram, how many sheets of the same paper would weight 2 whole 1 by 2 kilogram? So 2 whole 1 by 2 kilogram equal to 2000 gram plus 500 gram, that is 2500 gram. Let the number of seeds whose weight is 2 whole 1 by 2 kg, that is 2500 kg, be x. Number of seeds whose weight is 2 whole 1 by 2 kg, be x. So we want to find this value of x. And before that, the information is given 12 sheets of paper, weight is 40 gram. So let x sheet of paper, weight of x number of sheet is 2 whole 1 by 2 kg, that is 2500 kg. So now we prepare this table, number of sheets and weight of the sheets in gram. So number of sheets when 12, then weight is 40 gram. And when number of sheets is x, then weight is 2500 gram, that is 2 whole 1 by 2 kg, this one. So here, if the number of sheet is increased, then weight of the paper is increased. So it is a case of direct proportion. Therefore 12 by 40 equal to x by 2500. So 12 by 50 equal to x by 2500. These two ratio are same. Because this is the case of direct proportion, because weight of the paper is increased if the number of paper is increased, and weight of the paper is decreased if the number of paper is decreased. So solve this. So 40x equal to 12 into 2500, so x equal to 750. So 2200 gram is the weight of 750 paper. Now go to the exercise 13.1 from NCERT, direct and inverse proportion, question number 1. Here in the book it is given, following are the car parking charge near a railway station. So 4 hours car parking charge is rupees 60. It is the time and this is the parking charge. Cost is 60 for time 4 hours. Car parking charge for 8 hours is rupees 100, 12 hours 140, 24 hours parking charge is rupees 180. So check the parking charge are in the direct proportion to the parking time. Check whether these two variables are in direct proportion or not. So check the ratio. 4 by 60 equal to 1 by 15, simplest form. 12 by 140, 8 by 100 equal to 2 by 25, simplest form. 12 by 140 equal to 3 by 35, and 24 by 180 equal to 6 by 45. So they are not equal. So 4 by 60 not equal to 8 by 25, not equal to 12 by 400, not equal to 24 by 180. So parking charge are not in the direct proportion to the parking time, because these ratios are not equal. Next, question number 2. The mixture of paint is prepared by mixing 1 part of the red pigment with 8 part of the base. In the following table, find the part of the base that need to be added. So this is the table. 1 part red pigment is mixed with 8 part base, it is given. So when the red pigment is 4 part, what is the part of base? When the part of red pigment is 7 part, then what is the part of base? When the part of red pigment is 12 part, what is the part of base? And when the part of the red pigment is 20, then what is the part of base? So let x part of base is required for 4 part of red pigment. Similarly, let x2, x3 and x4 part of base required for 7 part, 12 part and 20 part base respectively. So here more parts of red pigment is required for more parts of base. So it is a case of direct proportion. Since these two variables are in direct proportion, therefore 1 by 8 equal to 4 by x1 equal to 7 by x2 equal to 12 by x3 equal to 20 by x4. So this is the relation. Now find the value of x1, x2, x3, x4. How to find? So first we consider first and second term. So 1 by 8 equal to 4 by x1. From this relation I find x1. Then taking 1 by 8 equal to 7 by x2. From this relation find x2. Then consider 1 by 8 equal to 12 by x3. From this relation find x3. And last one, 1 by 8 equal to 20 by x4. From this relation find x4. So here 1 by 8 equal to 4 by x1. So x1 into 1 x1 equal to 8 into 4 32. So x1 equal to 32. Similarly x2 equal to 56, x3 equal to 97 and x4 equal to 160. So 4 part pigment added to 32 part base, 7 part pigment is added to 56 part base, 12 parts of pigment is added to 96 part of base and 20 part of pigment is added to 160 part of base. Next question number 3. In question number 2 above, if 1 part of red pigment required 75 ml of base, then how much red pigment should be mixed with 1800 ml of base? So let X part of pigment is mixed with 180 ml of base. So this is the table, red pigment and base in ml. So 1 part pigment is added to 75 ml base. So we already consider X part of pigment is added to 1800 ml of base. So if the base is increased, then part of the red pigment is also increased. So it is a case of direct proportion. So 1 by 71 equal to 1 by 75 equal to x by 1800. So this is the linear equation. After the cross multiplication, it is 75x equal to 1800. So x equal to 24. So 24 part pigment, red pigment is mixed with 1800 ml of base. Next question number 5. Photograph of bacteria enlarged 50,000 times attain the length of 5 cm. So if the photograph, it is given that if the photograph is enlarged 50,000 times, then the length of the bacteria is 5 cm. So what is the original length of the bacteria? So let the original length of the bacteria be x centimeter. So this is the table, enlarged time and length of the bacteria. When the photograph is enlarged 50,000 times, then length of the bacteria is 5 cm. So when the enlarged time is 1, then the original length of the bacteria is x. So length of the bacteria in the photograph is increased if the photograph is increased. So it is a case of direct proportion. So if it is direct, these two variables are in direct proportion, therefore 50,000 by 5 equal to 1 by x. So from this relation, x equal to 5 by 50,000 equal to 1 by 10,000. So 1 by 10,000 equal to 1 by 10 to the power 4, that is equal to 10 to the power minus 4. So x equal to 10 to the power minus 4. So original length of the bacteria is 10 to the power minus 4 centimeter. And next part of the same question, let the length of the bacteria is y centimeter when the photograph is enlarged 200 times. The question is given in the book is, if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times, so what is the length of the bacteria? So let the length of the bacteria is y centimeter when the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times. So enlarged time and length of the bacteria. It is already given when the enlarged 50,000 times, photograph is enlarged 50,000 times, then length of the bacteria is 5 centimeter. And already we consider length of the bacteria is y centimeter if the photograph is 20,000 times, photograph enlarged is 20,000 times. So since it is a case of direct proportion, therefore 50,000 by 5 equal to 20,000 by y. So after the simplification, it is y equal to 2. So length of the bacteria is 2 centimeter if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times. Thank you.